Announcement. The hemp revolution will not be televised. I repeat, the hemp revolution will not be televised. Welcome to the Hemp Revolution podcast, the global hotspot for the buzz and the cannabis. You can hear the stories of the green rush from the dreamers who are writing the rules, innovating the business, and changing history forever. Immerse yourself with the fascinating stories from the leaders in the hemp health revolution to learn how we are changing the game forever. Introducing your hosts, James Brinkerhoff and Sonia Gomez. What's up, everybody? I'm Sonia Gomez, your host for the Hemp Revolution, and today we are going to be diving real deep into the founder's story of Movida, a gentleman who has been fighting against the family, the community, and all odds to not only support his own health transformation, but many of the people in the circle that he is serving. We were just having an incredible offline conversation about how he is pushing this movement and product forward without the support of his family. And I want to just turn the camera and the microphone right over to our guest for today, Mr. Al Morentin. Hello, hello. Did I say your last name right?
Yes.
Okay,
that's perfect. Hi.
Hi, I'm so happy to have you on. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm so excited to hear your story, but first, we were just starting to dive into this really incredible thing that's about to happen for you. Like, it's such a major milestone. Many entrepreneurs take this for granted. I think when they get started here, they're looking at it either from just the money perspective or they're heavy on the impact side, but we never really get to hear about the stories from people whose families are not in total support of the entrepreneurial venture that they select. So Al, you're in that situation now where you've been pushing this movement forward. You've experienced some of your own transformation. You've developed a successful product line, all without the support of your family. And just now you shared with me that they're going to come out and actually see you speak and start to participate at least on that level with what you're doing. Is that right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So I real quick, just so people know, I went blind and got my vision back with cannabis oils, right?
Well, I want to hear the whole story. So even let's start at the very, very beginning. How did your journey with cannabis and hemp start? Let's start there.
Okay. So I've been a holistic health practitioner for over 3 decades and helping people to overcome conditions and things like that. And also a fitness expert, 2-time national powerlifting champion, set 6 state records in California and won the state championships and best lifter at military nationals, stuff like that, So I'm in the game as far as health and wellness. I've been involved in cannabis since just as long, okay? And I was on the heavy duty on the procurement and distribution, so I dealt heavily with farmers, and that's why I'm so good at this hemp side now. And that was all through the 90s up until about 2003. Yeah, so when I was in 6th grade, real quick, my first eye exam, I was told I had markers for glaucoma, and I was eventually going to go blind because there's no cure. 6th grade.
Wow.
Fast forward to 30 years old, they're like, hey, those markers, they're active now, and you have glaucoma, you're going to go blind because there's still no cure. I went on this journey, and I created programs and protocols and all these different things that help people, and figured out how to help people overcome crazy amounts of conditions, just through nutrition, but I could never help myself. And I was just slowly losing my eyesight. It took me 17 years to finally come back to the cannabis. And I started experimenting with it, and I developed a formulation that stopped my eyesight from deteriorating anymore. And then extractors that I was working with, and you'll be familiar with this kind of a thing, they lost their soul and they stopped producing good oil, right? And my glaucoma is so advanced that just within 7 days I went blind.
Wow.
And I was blind for like 3 days. I finally got some more oil from actually from Open Vape. They actually gave me some oil, and I was able to get my eyesight back a little bit from there, and I was able to find my own extractors and develop my formulations again and get my eyesight back. And the day I found the new extractors is the day I started Movida. My other company is My Fit Life, and I needed more out of life than what that company could give me. So this is more life. Bam. I mean, on the car ride, I've actually improved my eyesight and stuff like that. It's been like 7 years of staying success. I'm the only one in the world that has that. There's 19 other people underneath me that are taking our stuff that have their case studies and have success. But literally, if you have glaucoma and it's kicked in, the only thing they do is teach you how to, get a guide dog and instruments to use because you're going to go blind. There is no cure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like rendered speechless right now. This is amazing. So have you developed the eye drops and they're available on the marketplace now for people to use?
So that's where everybody's going up wrong. So there is no eye drops. I take things orally. Everybody's trying to do it through eye drops, all the doctors, all the PhDs, all that stuff. And it's not that. I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I deal with things through the whole of it and getting your body the ammunition it needs to overcome. And this was the last missing link, and a specific extraction, a specific formulation, but but it's still from the hemp or cannabis plants, but it's not eye drops. It is
okay.
It is capsules and tinctures that I take.
Oh my God, that's incredible. And that's all part of your line now.
Yes. Yeah, I take everything off the shelf. I do not have a special formulation for myself.
Oh my God, this is amazing. You have no idea how many people are going to be listening to this show and being like, where can I get those eye drops? Where can I get those drops? Where can I get the tinctures? Where can I get the capsules? They're going to be saying exactly that to me. So let's just tell them, where can they find more information about your products? Where can they get access to it if they're struggling with glaucoma, if they're struggling with anything of that nature? I mean, a lot of folks even are looking for direction on how to select products and delivery systems that are going to give them their desired results. We're very much an advocate of total body wellness. So how to truly achieve balance in the body, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. What kind of habits are we creating for ourselves and for our families that are, pushing us on one side of the other of the extreme? And these are a lot of we have literature and supplement, all the different types of things that people can lean on. But of course, everyone's looking for the fast fix. How can I get the result now, right? Which is why they're going straight for the products. So where can they find your products, first of all?
Well, they can find the products at movidaoils.com, this and oils.com. And then there are a couple that aren't on there that are they're still available, but call us or email us, send a message. And then we do give, for what you're saying, we do give free consultations for people that take our products so they can take it properly, because I've built out case studies over the years for all kinds of different conditions. And through the FDA, we can't say that we cure, and we don't really. Because if I stop taking my stuff, then within 24 hours, my vision starts to break apart. Within a week, I'm blind. So there is no.
Wow.
But yeah, we help people to what I say, come off the sidelines and get back in the game of life. And so we've developed protocols over the years for different conditions, and that people have been successful with, and we offer free consultations for that, and I have PDFs made out and all kinds of stuff to help people to be successful with the product, because it's not just having the good stuff, because there's all kinds of different kinds of qualities, but having the correct good stuff is one thing. Doing a correct protocol is everything else, right? It's like you can have the best racket in the world, but unless you're a pro tennis player, you're not going to do anything with it, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have the proper guidance with it, right? So that's what we provide.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. So totally serendipitous. I'm not sure how much you know about us, but I'll share a little bit anyway. So in the last 2 years, my husband and I, who have a combined 35 years in the cannabis and hemp movement, I'm originally from California. My life was saved after a near fatal surfing accident using cannabis and hemp based products. Had spent tens of thousands of hours, tens of thousands of dollars with the traditional medical system, who completely failed me. They were just over prescribing me, causing more symptoms than they were, eliminating them. And at the peak of my illness, I was 100 pounds overweight, taking 7 different medications, falling into a very deep, depression, really just kind of waiting for my life to be over. And finally came in contact with a holistic neurologist who introduced me to my endocannabinoid system, taught me about microdosing, phytonutrients, the connection between the mental, physical, emotional bodies, and gave me some core practices that I could implement as a young lady, taking responsibility for the way that I was feeling and functioning on a daily basis. And even though I had been immersed in the culture of holistic health since I was a little girl, my mom was a student of Hartwood College. We and she's a Feldenkrais therapist. Many of my upbringing was with Native American Indians and fully immersed in their culture and tradition. So I was extremely familiar with holistic health and plant medicines, but hadn't really taken responsibility for my well-being as a young adult. And so it was a major, major shift when I started to understand microdosing, when I started to understand strain selection, the delivery systems to give me the results that I was looking for. And within 3 months of following his regimen, I was completely off of my medications. Within 6 months, off all over the counters. And within 9 months, I had lost 97 pounds. So I fully understand the importance of self-aware care, conscious self-conscious care, and conscious consideration. Like, you have to be totally in tune and willing to go through a multitude of steps. It's a ladder that you have to climb one step at a time to truly achieve wellness. So fast forward, in the last 2 years, my husband and I have built a following of over 1 million people. We've impacted 50 million around the world, 350,000 subscribers, and it's our mission to empower and educate people about the truth about cannabis and hemp, so that they can make decisions about how they want to treat themselves, people they love, conditions they may be suffering from. But in September, long story, brought all to this helm here. In September of last year, we launched the Leaf Academy. And the Leaf Academy created a certification program called the Natural Health Coach Certification. And we are teaching people through this regimen, and with a man named Dr. Rob Ifker, who is the author of Cannabis for Chronic Pain. And we have developed a whole program teaching people how to select, recommend, and use cannabis and hemp-based products along with other natural remedies and holistic health practices to improve their own health, but also support other people improving their health. So we've created an entire business training around this exact same thing. And people like you are my inspiration for doing so. And we would love, love, love to have you in the Leaf Academy. We'd love to share your information and products with our students. We have about 32 certified students right now who are all promoting, top grade, high quality products and information. And I would love to bring you into the fold there.
That's awesome. You know what? For some reason, this slipped my mind, but I have a sort of this program that I developed called the Foundation. And I did a little test run of a seminar for it in downtown LA about 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks, or about maybe a month ago, August 11th or something like that. But anyways, one of your students from, I guess you just had a graduation or something.
Yeah, Rebecca.
And the girl, she's from, I forget her name, but it was a woman, and but she mentioned you and James and the Leaf Academy, and she's a graduate. She gave me her card, but I don't have it on me. But yeah.
Did she have long white hair?
It was Yeah, it was either white or blondish. Yeah,
Rebecca
yeah,
is her name. Yeah, she's right down there. She's amazing.
yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. Little small world, like
Yeah.
you're out in Colorado, right?
Yeah, we're out in Colorado, but we're certifying people all across the country right now. We have inquiries
Awesome.
from around the world. More, and I can't teach them fast enough. There's a lot of people who are very anxious to, and so I guess this is a really good segue into my next couple of questions for you, because there are a lot of people who are wanting to get into this space, and their primary focus is with products. And for me, it's difficult to create products unless you know what people you are and what people you are serving and what problems they have. And then you can create products that offer the solution, right? So from a holistic standpoint, share with me the importance of understanding what step do you go in first. The budding entrepreneurs all want to have a product line and brand of their own, but how do you create success with products if you don't know the people that you're serving?
Well, that's a real difficult thing, because and one of the reasons that I'm in the industry is because a lot of people don't understand health, right? And the great responsibility that goes with it. It's not a joke, right? Like, we're not selling flashlights, we're not selling laptops, right? This isn't where you put out a product and then figure it out and refine it as you go. You have a badass product that is like ultimate, legit, and works before you put it out there. Like, before at Movida, I was out for like almost 18 months putting product out, just putting it out to people and developing until we had something that was I was confident to put out onto the market. So you need to get somebody. My feelings about it are that you need to have somebody that in your team that understands health and healing, and it might be coming to another company like a Movida that actually that can actually do the formulations for them and stuff like that, and help them create for themselves, right? And that's sort of what I'm in the process of doing on my end to help the industry. Because I see so many. I'm in these groups. You're in those groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and they're just all white label, blah blah blah, and they develop all the wording and everything for their website before they even have a product, like organic this and that, blah blah blah. So we have to get out of that mentality of marketer and go into the mentality of, we're here to help people, and we need to do the best that we can to do that. So let's get the best products first, source them properly, and then do all the other things that go along with that. Build your website around the products, not build a website and all the graphics and the brand, and then build the products to fit that. So you sort of go out there. The best way for people to do it, though, is to there's two things. Is most people that come into the game have some kind of a problem. So if you're treating your own problem, then you treat others that have that problem, right? You help with that. That's the easiest. And you create that story and do all the different things with the marketing to be successful quickly, right? That's really the biggest thing right there, is because you're going to have the most confidence in that. And that's what I would say, is if you have a problem, then to use that as your target market.
Yes, I love that. So also I want to know from this is the first time I've had to have, well, it's not the first time, but it's on record. One of the first times that I've been able to have an open interview with a practitioner who has also developed their own product line. And I want to understand, and a lot of the people that I am looking to reach right now are in fact practitioners in the holistic space, chiropractor, acupuncturist, the holistic health practitioners, DOs, even massage therapists and essential oil enthusiasts, because we have a baseline understanding of whole body wellness versus treating a symptom. We're actually looking for the cause of a syndrome and then work with the symptoms from there. So From your perspective, what has been the receptiveness from your clientele? And for those of you who are listening right now and are either working with a chiropractor or holistic practitioner, or if you are one yourself, this is important for you to listen to. I want to know what's the receptiveness of Movida to your clientele, and how has it played a part in their recovery or wellness regime?
Okay, so you're talking about the end user, like the B2C or the B2B?
The B2C, like you're still a practitioner working with clients, right?
Yeah, and well, I went to chiropractic school and all that kind of stuff. So, and you know, I've been a holistic health practitioner forever. But I've stepped back. We have our own client base, B2C, but we're building out the B2B with the, you know, like with chiropractors specifically. And then I owned the gym for 28 years. You know, so we're going into the what I call hybrid fitness centers. You know, the smaller, like high end kind of thing and stuff like that. You know, so but to answer your question, the people that take our stuff, right? They take it, and you know, a lot of them even taken like other ones, like the big CCWs and all the different ones, you know. And they may or may not have, like, I felt a little bit, or I didn't really, whatever. And then they'll take ours and they'll feel something, and then they depend on that, right? So that's what our whole thing is about, you know, is consistency, product, you know, and having the quality but the consistency, you know. You know, I would say purity you can taste, quality you can trust, right? So that there's people that, like, for instance, like, I know you're not supposed to say things like FDA or whatever, but there's a woman that was epilepsy, seizures, blah blah blah, seizing on medication, started taking our stuff, stopped seizing. In a 6-month period, she only seized twice, because each time she didn't want to wait for the mail, so she went to a vape shop one time, she went to a dispensary the other time. She seized 2 times doing other people's stuff. So she came back to ours. It's been about 2 years since, and she's seizure free with our stuff. So people come to depend on our stuff. Like, I developed this skin condition to some environmental toxins earlier this year, and I sent out an email saying, hey, I'm not going to be doing any seminars right now because I figured out the root cause of what's going on in my body, so I have to pay attention to that. You know, so I'm going to be putting out our products, but our programs, our 21-day reset, AWOL way of life, we're not going to be doing for a while. People thought that I was stopping production at Movida, and I got a flood of emails saying, I depend on you, like, I'm able to ride my bike now. I depend on you. I'm able to go to work now because of you, and I'm so sad that you're not going to have your product anymore. You know, that's the response that our people have. You know, they literally depend on it to function and get out there into the world. Whether it's the mental stuff, you know, because we have that anxiety, depression, stress, all that different thing, and the physical, you know. And it's just because I understand one of the advantages that Movida has is me as patient zero, right? Because whenever I go onto another farm and you know we have the extraction process, all that kind of stuff, I'll test the stuff. I'll go off everything. I'll start taking just that stuff specifically with my formulations, and I'll know if the stuff is therapeutically active, because I'll start going blind right away if it's not. So I'm literally the test dummy. I have an unfair advantage over everybody else, because I know what I'm doing more than 99.999% of the world, and then I test it on myself, and I react quickly. I go, you know, my vision starts to break apart in less than 24 hours if I have bad stuff.
Wow, that's incredible. So when you decided to get into the hemp and cannabis movement, the green rush, and you started to develop Movida, what was the response from your family?
Okay, so family, friends, everything dropped. Like, I'm a holistic health practitioner, published author, productized programs known all over the U.S. You know, like if I posted on Facebook that I went to McDonald's, I'm a vegan, but like I went to get a vegan burrito or something, I got like 112 likes or something, right? The day that I said, hey, I'm in the cannabis industry, because that's where I started out, high THC, dropped down to nothing. Like, I could say I just won the Pulitzer Prize, like 3 likes or something, you know, like nothing. And so my family, like they was still cordial to me. Like I sort of stopped getting invited to like Christmas, like literally. Like none of my family takes any of my stuff, right? Except for my one nephew, who's sort of like the black sheep of the family too, right? So, but like my sister, you know, my sisters, my brother, I gave my brother some because he's in chronic pain. And he called me up the other day, said, I still have it. I haven't taken it yet, you know, but they're coming down, like I said. But yeah, so I got a phone call from my sister and her wife, right? And her wife said, hey, my dad has like really bad pain, like low back, mid back, neck, all that stuff. And he must be really desperate because he was asking to get some stuff from you. So I actually sent him some capsules, and it worked for him. He even like just used me as a guinea pig to see if that would work for him, and he's actually buying it from somewhere else now, and it's not going to work as good for him. It's like he's buying it like from someone at his church or something. But yeah, it's really weird the way my family
is. Your family Hispanic?
Been, you know,
is your family Hispanic? Yeah.
Yes, they're Hispanic.
You know, my father's Argentinian, my mom's Greek, and I always get told, are you still messing around with that stuff? That's what I always get asked all the time. And I'm just like, that stuff? Like, yeah, have you looked at the news lately? No. It's pretty interesting to see the resistance that still exists, and I guess the industry is pretty much in their infancy, and there's a significant gap. The industry of product is growing a lot faster than the industry of education, and they're two separate things, and without the two growing together, we're going to continue to experience a lot of discord in family and in community. Now, you're in California, right?
Yes.
So being in California, it's surprising even still. What is their fear or concern around taking it? Do they not want to get high? Do they just not know enough about it? Is it the devil's lettuce? What do you think it is?
I don't understand it really myself, because like I know that both of my sisters, like when they were younger, smoked marijuana, right? And but now, you know, they're more hardcore Christian and this and that, like stuff. And not there's anything wrong with that, but when that happened, it's like almost like that part of their life didn't exist, you know, anymore. And it doesn't make sense, because they see all the I get like success stories like on my wall now, you know, like people are saying like, you know, like all the amazing things, and they see me like on different podcasts, and they see me being asked to speak at these events and all these different stuff, and still, you know, it's crazy, you know. Like the talk I do, it's called, you know, Stop the Confusion: The Truth About CBD, you know, and it just creates, you know, rabid customers because they understand, you know, like what it actually does, and that you actually have that system, and that your body actually requires it, needs it. And that's what's going wrong with society, is that it hasn't been fed, you know, since the 1930s. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's really, I mean, we use the term crazy, but it's become status quo. And I think what's happening in this generation and then the following generation is people are, you know, they're pushing a lot more for a different level of standard and a different level of operation than we've been running in the past. And I think there could not be a better time. Our planet is freaking out. Our bodies are freaking out. Our communities are disintegrating. The traditions are nearly completely lost. And in the cannabis culture and in the CBD communities, we are starting to see the opioid epidemic starting to dissolve. We're starting to see communities becoming more focused on thriving instead of surviving. We're seeing families being brought together through the healing or, miraculous transformations that their members are experiencing. And folks who would have never touched or thought about or talked about cannabis or hemp are now avid users and promoters of the product. So I think that this is truly a revolution and a significant disruption to the healthcare system right now.
Yes.
And we are going to be witnessing a David and Goliath type battle of the businesses here shortly. And honestly, like, we're a part of the 1% of people who are comfortable and confident talking about this stuff. Most people are in Middle Earth, have no idea what's happening outside of the matrix. And people like yourself and myself, we have a responsibility to raise the awareness and the vibration of the industry. That does not mean, though, that we are not faced with inevitable challenges. So you are shifting from working and interfacing with a client base and having a B2C type business into a B2B type model, right? Now you're pursuing more of your B2B relationships and distribution.
Yes. So there's two things that I'm doing. I come from the wellness industry, right? So I love chiropractic and that kind of a thing, like the wellness centers. I had the hybrid style gym, like with those high-end clients, and like CrossFit-ish, but better.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I've developed a program for them that's like a bolt-on to and a secondary source of income that could actually match and surpass their primary income, right? It could be either having products in-house or through the affiliate or through both. And it's a really great package with education for them and their staff and all this kind of stuff, right? So that's a really, really beneficial program. And I have some high-level gym owners that are on Movida that have results and are that could and they're like the first people that are putting it into their facilities and blah blah blah, and then on the other side, what I'm doing is I go out to farms, because of my prior experience. When I say I was in distribution, like I did 300 to 1,000 pounds a month through the 90s up to 2003 for over 100 months straight without fail. There wasn't 1 month that I didn't do it, and nothing ever got flagged. So I know what I'm doing, and I developed relationships with farmers along that way, right? So I actually drive out to Colorado. I drive out to Oregon and walk the farms and have dinner with the farmers, right? I give instruction to the extraction teams. I've gone through 23 extraction teams in the past 3 years because of this, right? And I'm always vetting them to make sure that they have quality, right? And then I create all the formulations and oversee all that kind of stuff. So I want to be able to provide that quality of material and product to other, not huge brands, but more boutique style brands that are emerging, and give them something that's actually valuable to their community that they truly want to help. Because I believe that these people that are starting, most of these people that are starting these companies aren't in it for the money grab. They want some money, but they're in it to help people, right? They're tired of doing things and just fledgling along in life, scraping by. They want to help people and be able to make a decent income, and we could teach them how to do that. You're doing this. You're doing it on a sort of on the same level and on a different level with your Leap Academy. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, right? Where you could because like with the cannabis thing, I went through 500. I had a network of 500 farms in 2016. All throughout California, the biggest network of farms in California, and like in one day, that like the leaders of it, they showed me some like unscrupulous kind of behavior that I knew would just go along and bite me in the ass later. And without one other farm in my back pocket, I shelved them. I fired them all. I said, screw it. And like within it, I had more farms, right? Because I just went out and got more. I know how to do that. But farmers lose their soul along the way. As you grow money and they lose their soul, I've seen it. Extractors lose their soul. They stop caring as much, or the employees stop caring as much because it's not the owners anymore. It's the regular employees. So the regular business owners don't have time to go and do all that vetting, And so that good person that they found a year later, they might not be good anymore, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So they might start from good product to shitty product, and they don't even know it, you know? So what I'm doing, what I'm creating, they wouldn't have to worry about something like that, you know, because I depend on it myself. That's why I go through all the trouble of doing it, because I depend on it. I can't have somebody go like, oh yeah, let me wait 2 weeks or 2 months for another crop to come in or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. I need consistent supply all the time, and it needs to be badass.
Yeah, you've stabilized the supply chain, which is a major challenge in the space in general. The four biggest challenges we're seeing is stabilizing the supply chain, compliance, marketing and advertising, banking, merchant processing, and distribution. So 5.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones. Those are the big ones that we are seeing every single day, no matter how big or how small the business is, how much success they've had previously versus now in a new venture, that these are not, you know, person to person. This is an industry-wide challenge of stabilizing supply chain and ensuring that the product that has your brand and label on it is consistent every time you make a batch of it, and not just the first time. That was something that we were discussing on another episode, was like, you know, one thing is created one time, but then something completely different is happening on the next time out. And it's so hard to put your faith into a brand that doesn't consistently deliver the results.
Yes. And that's the number one complaint. That's the number one complaint from customers, the end user customers, is that consistency. You know, before it was just having the same brand in the dispensary, you know, like, because they would go to the back of the dispensary and like, where's that? Because a person, they finally find that one thing that works, and they'll go back to it. They'll be loyal to you. A person finds something that works within you, they're going to come back to you forever. And as long as you have good customer service, then, you know, then you'll keep them, you know, build community and all that kind of stuff too. That's one of the biggest things too, right? I mean, you guys have done that literally times a million, right? But still, you know, but building community is everything. You know, whether it's 10 people or 1 million people, like being in touch with your community and being faithful to them, loyal to them, like basically being a servant to them, you know, is everything. If you do that, then you cannot fail.
I love it. So right now where have you successfully gotten your brand distributed, and who's picking it up? Has that been a challenge for you getting into new marketplaces, or has that been going really well for you?
So we're inside of a few chiropractic centers, and we're inside of medical supply stores. That's being received really well. And like I just hired one of my longtime friends that believes in our company and stuff like that. He's a really good salesman, and he's also a bodybuilder that used to sponsor, you know, USA champion, stuff like that. And he's going to go reach out to all the gyms for me and get that program going, you know. As far as that, I'm not like really interested myself in going into regular stores, right? Or even in places that are going to carry multiple brands of CBD, you know. Because our stuff is specific and it's for a purpose, and we want people that are going to actually take on our education and things like that and provide value to their people. You know, either that, or they're just going to become an affiliate and drive over and have their people get the education through us and through our videos and our community. You know, I have this thing called Club Movida and stuff like that. You know.
Tell me about Club Movida. I love a good club.
Club Movida is basically a community. It's young, so there's different things going on with it. Number one, they get 25% off our products just for being in the club. Because if they're in the club, they're buying from us all the time. You know, you're special, right?
Yeah.
They get free consultations every month if they want to, for free.
Wow.
And
are you doing the consultations, or do you have a team?
I have some 2 cannabis caregiver practitioners that are certified through. They're one of them. They're 2 of only 13 certified through the state of California. It's not a regular certification like super high level cannabis certification, not CBD or hemp, and it's like a $10,000 program. You know.
Wow.
So
ours is 6.
It's pretty heavy duty. It's this woman. She's the original. She had a dispensary back in the 90s. and she's one of the biggest speakers now. I forget her name, but yeah. So we have some really high-level cannabis caregiver practitioners. One, her name is Yanni. She worked for Apple and got cancer from working there on the mainframe for 20 plus years. They're paying for all her medical now. 6 different bouts of cancer, leukemia, and she has fibromyalgia and lupus. She was on 47 different medications. Like her medication protocol was 18 pages long. Now it's half a page long, and it's all Movida and a couple of over-the-counter supplements.
And you're formulating all of your stuff?
Doctor approves all of our stuff. Yeah. Even everything is thought of, even the packaging, right? Like this only allows in 2 spectrums of light, so it preserves things 9 times longer than normal. So the glass, the bottle is the preservative.
Is that the viola or ultraviolet glass jars?
Yep.
I love those jars.
Yeah. It's more expensive, but it's the product is worth it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some pieces of advice that you can offer? Go ahead.
Wait. So also with the Club Movida, I have 2 programs. One's called the 21-day reset, and then I have another one, AWOL way of life, that they get inside of there too. So yeah, one's a lifestyle program, 21-day reset. It's like an original cleansing and detoxification program. Yeah. And it sort of resets and reformats your internal hard drive so you could actually get into a healing state, and I've put over 10,000, almost 10,000 people through that program in person. So over the last 15 years.
Wow, that's so amazing. Look at you. You're doing such incredible stuff. What are some pieces of advice that you can offer people who are in the space, have an established brand, but maybe you're not hitting the marks that they want to? What are some pieces of advice that you'd be able to offer them to help them get over the inevitable hurdles that they're going to be facing?
For which part? For generating business or for...
Well, let's do a 2-part. Let's say first in developing you already talked a little bit about the efficacy and integrity of the product. So talk a little bit about the acquiring new business. What can you do to diversify your offerings, bring in more streams of revenue, and build yourself into your community?
For sure, do the simple e-commerce thing. Even if you're not going to be an e-commerce business kind of thing, as long as you can get the the processing and stuff like that. But because that's going to be money that you can get, whatever. That's a revenue stream. But as far as going out and getting clients and things like that, my feeling is even if you're a brand that wants to be national and global, you should start in the local community that you're in, right, and build out from there. Especially if it's in a major metropolitan zone, and go out into the community, set up shop, and touch people. Right. So, go into gyms, set up a table, during their busiest time, go into wellness centers, set up a table during their busiest time, offer to give free consultations, and do all these kinds of things. You can do the simple things like the farmers markets and things like that are cool, to generate some money and things like that. And, that could generate repeat business and a loyal following. And then you could, open up a store and then, go from there, little baby steps along the way, and then doing talks like the talk that I developed with the the CBD 101, the truth about CBD, all that kind of stuff, and you go into places. What I do is I'll go into a yoga studio or a gym because that's more my demographic. That's what I know, but you can go into senior center or, whatever, and anywhere that has room, that has a little local following, and say, hey, let me do a talk for your people, and I'm going to do sales that day, and I'll give you 15% of the sales that I make, or 20% of the sales that I make, and I usually sell $1,000, so you'll get $200 or whatever for the hour that I'm going to be there, and then that could open the door for them to actually carry your product too, because they can see how the people react and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then by the way, here's another tip too that I do, because this is for there's enough business for everybody, right? So one thing too, if I bring on a store, and we want stores to do more than the initial buy. We want them to rebuy. We want to create customers for them. So we'll do the same thing, but we'll have the people buy from them. So it's like and have that as an added value benefit. So hey, you take us on, and we'll do a talk in your store, right? No matter, do the truth about CBD. We'll create customers. They'll actually buy from you at your cash register, so they've got that psychological thing of handing money over. We'll give a little gift to them. They'll come to the table, show the receipt, we'll give a little gift and stuff like that, spit them out. We do free raffles and all that kind of stuff. And they'll make like $1,000 that day in an hour or two, and they're hooked. They're like,
yes,
that I'm gonna do. They actually see. They don't have to wait for like a customer to come in here and there, and like, oh, this is gonna pick up momentum. Like you've got momentum going, and customers created that day that are gonna come back to you. So that helps them out a lot, and it helps out the business too.
Yeah, I mean, you can never underestimate the power of getting out into your community. I tell my students this all the time. Go out into your community, look up the meetups, start your own meetup. Like, you have to create the buzz that you want to be a part of, and you have to get into the buzz if you want to be in biz. These are the things that I say all the time. And I think that there's the grassroots movement of building and growing your business that is really being lost to the digital age, where people are not interfacing with one another anymore. They're not putting their hands and their feelers out into the public. They're hiding behind computer screens, and it's really super challenging. I can't wait to be like this close to the people that I'm working with, because it's just building that long-term relationship and rapport. It happens in person and making that one-to-one connection. One
thing though that is really super valuable, when you get out into the community and you do meet these people and you wow them and they think you're fantastic, grab their friggin' email address so you can keep in contact with them.
Yes. God, so powerful. Multiple points of contact.
I have funnels, whatever, on my phone that I can pull up and say, just enter it in here, boom.
Yeah, exactly. Have your CRM, customer management system, or customer relations system in place, man. That thing is mandatory. What else do I need to know about this incredible movement of Movida and your club Movida? And
one thing that's really super awesome that I think you'll love is that, so I'm a holistic health practitioner, and we have CBD minerals and superfoods. So I have a sister company that I'm partnered up with called the Pure Health Defenders. And so we have one of the partners has a deadly disease like me that you only mine's not deadly, but his is deadly. He only lived 3 years. He's lived 8. He's on his stuff and my stuff, right? And it's an intestinal disease. And so him and his partner, who is the head of research and development at UCLA for the last 18 years. He's also on the board at Abbott and pharmaceuticals, all kinds of stuff like that. They developed these minerals from these 7 different sea vegetables that are grown in pristine parts of the world from these farms that grow for them, right? They're a $20 million company. And they love Movida, they love me, and they the guy, he does Movida CBD before his lectures at UCLA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they just love us. So we're the worldwide distributors for them now. And so we have these sea vegetable mineral complex that we're putting out, because that was one of the missing links also for me, was because everything, like you were saying, like the planet is different, but diets haven't changed. So we need to get minerals and things like that from supplementation and from natural sources like this, so that the sea is full of natural minerals that like seaweed and things like that. So we have 7 different sea vegetables, and it's a proprietary extraction process. It was developed by this guy at UCLA. He's like one of the most world-renowned veterinarians, and research scientists. He gets all their funding, like $400 to $600 million a year at UCLA. And we also developed this tech right here that knocks down frequencies and like Wi-Fi and all kinds of stuff like that, over 50 different frequencies. It has a nanopico and another kind of energy applied to it. So it works it creates like a little shell around you, right? And then it works on a cellular level, and then within the cell on a molecular level to help to heal you. and we could show through thermal imaging when you not having it and having it, right? And he proved it. He's a veterinarian at UCLA through primates and dogs and cats and all that stuff, and they just got $20 million in funding from the federal government to do research on this for diabetes-based neuropathies, and a specific type of cancer. And then directly after the people are taken off of the clinical trial, then they're put onto a case study and they're put on Movida CBD.
Whoa, dude, that is major.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm very, very fortunate that came across to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. God bless you, man. You're doing some incredible things right now. I'm so excited to follow your journey. We're going to see each other in Las Vegas at the Exponential Entrepreneur event. I'm really excited about that.
So excited for that.
Yes, and you're going to be speaking down in Oceanside. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, so there's this awesome sushi restaurant that's like, it's huge, it's crazy, and they have this big, cool little area for speaking.
What's the name of the sushi restaurant?
Harney's, Harney.
Oh, dude, I know about my money sauce and my.
Well, my niece and her husband just bought it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
coming in.
So and they have a full vegan menu and stuff like that now for me. So, and not just for me, but like but they're like ocean certified, like ocean like friendly certified.
Yeah, Harney. They have a location in Oceanside and in Old Town, right?
Yeah, so they bought the one in Oceanside, going right there, and so that's what I'm saying. Like that's one of the reasons why my family's coming down. And they're not coming down just because I'm doing the event, but they're coming down because it's at my niece's place.
Yeah, we'll eat sushi and listen to you talk.
So, and then it's also because like she sort of like convinced them, because like it's also my brother's birthday, like her father's birthday, like a couple of days later. So, and she has like a little beach house, like just a couple blocks away, the beach.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a little party afterwards. So but they're sort of forced to go to my thing,
Yeah.
It's called CBD 101, the truth about CBD, and you just like learn about like what is it, why does your body need it, why do you need it, and how to look for the good sources of it, what to expect, and then we do free raffles. We make it fun. Like I literally do 8 raffles in 45 minutes. And it's over $400 of the CBD, and the raffle's free, the event's free, and just tons of fun. And then there's a brunch going on afterwards, and they got like half price on the brunch. It's just like crazy good stuff.
Awesome. Well, we'll be sure to post some links so that people can find out more about where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing. All of the links to get in touch with Movida will be listed right around this blog post and this episode of the Hemp Revolution. Any last word, any words of wisdom to share with our audience before we complete our show today?
Just if you're getting into the game, if you're coming into the hemp game for business, then make sure that you check your ego and make sure you're doing it for the people, because that's what matters. This is not about money. This is about helping people and overcoming government and the pharmaceutical industry. So we have a choice.
Yes, sir. You heard it from the horse's mouth right here and right now. Everything that you do has to be focused on the why. Why do you do what you do? For whom do you do what you do? And why are you so passionate about it? What is the thing that keeps you ignited and excited every single day? While we're solving problems, you also have to understand that generating the revenue that you can continue to make the difference in people's life. With great responsibility comes the need for revenue to serve those responsibilities. So build your business like a business and don't treat it like a hobby. Work it every single day. Put 100% into it, and the law of reciprocity will be working in your favor. Also, focus on the flow. Do the things that feel most natural to you, that allow you to be the most excited, the most ignited, the most potent in the areas that you're focusing on, and build your team around you so that they can take care of those things that help you, that make you feel depleted. You don't have to be the best thing You don't have to be the best at everything about your business. What you do need to do is be aware and understand how to properly delegate those things out so that you can make the biggest, most positive impact, and your revenue and income will be a direct result of the value that you're bringing into your marketplace. My name's Sonia Gomez. I'm your trusted and loyal, happy host of the Hemp Revolution, and we'll see you on our next episode. Thanks for listening to another Rockstar episode of the Hemp Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Sonia Gomez, and just for you, we took notes on this episode along with the links and other resources mentioned inside of today's show. Get them for free right now by going to theemeraldcircle.com. Now, if you want more on this, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast or wherever you like to listen, and you will be automatically entered in to our monthly giveaway where you can get swag bags, all kinds of cool gifts and discounts from our guests, and exclusive offers that are only mentioned right here in the Hemp Revolution podcast. I can't wait for you to share this with your friends. With your help, we've been able to impact millions of people's lives around the world with the truth about hemp and cannabis. And we know that you love us so much that you're going to leave a review and rate us right now on your favorite platform to absorb content just like this. Now, we challenge you to dream big and love the life that you live. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you on our next episode of the Hemp Revolution podcast. Ciao for now.